cool. So, you may not have believed it earlier, but I can actually dig a relatively flat bottom ditch. It's not perfect. I'm looking at it though, and I think, one, I probably ought to go a little bit deeper right here, kind of get underneath the level of the ditch for where my retaining wall is going to go. And I think that I'm too far to the inside. So, you know, you can imagine right here would be about right here is where the retaining wall would end. And so that's going to kind of define where my gate is. Well, I have this planned out, this little hole right here. About lost it, but that's where it is though, right there. So right there, it's a little bit narrower than what I want. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to reset up, and we're going to shift the backhoe over just a little bit, and I'll be able to just drive right over the trench I just dug. And I'm going to shift one bucket width over and basically dig the same trench parallel right here next to it. So I think that's what I'm going to do next. I think that's the best thing to do. Actually, you know what? Before I do anything, I'm going to pull a tape measure. I got a big 100-foot tape measure out here. I'll pull it from that hole over there to over here, and let's see what the actual measurement is. So I pulled the tape on it, and it's roughly 14 feet. I need it to be a minimum of 16 feet. So we're going to go ahead and we'll shift over, and we'll dig some more out. All right, so I've been working on this all day. It's a slow process, mostly because I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm going to have to take some more out of this side. But what I did is I basically dug half of it. And like I said, right here, I didn't quite go deep enough, but I think... So I got to get this kind of filled back in, but I want this to be kind of road level, you know, and then slope up to ground level over there where the backhoe's parked. Actually, almost exactly where the backhoe's parked. And so I've been trying to be careful not to dig too much because I want this good kind of native virgin compacted clay underneath my road bed here. So anyway, I just got this side dug out, and it's very rough, right? So it's just kind of roughed in. Next thing we're going to do, got the backhoe kind of packed up here. We'll get rid of my giant dirt pile here, and back off this way I have a place where I'm dumping all of that. So we'll get this dirt pile out of the way, we'll scrape up all this loose stuff, and then that will actually show me where I'm at. And then from there, if I need to use the backhoe to keep digging some stuff out, which I think I will over here. I think I did better on the other side, but I'll do that. And then hopefully though I'll get to a point to where I can just drive from the road kind of straight across and just scoop up with a bucket. We'll get that dirt out of here and just basically just kind of push it all up into a pile at the top, and then take some big scoops and go haul it off. So anyway, next thing's next. Got to get rid of this big pile. So alrighty, see if this works. Wow, that worked pretty good. That was way easier than using the backhoe. Man, start doing that more often, I think. So we're pretty close here. It's all just kind of roughed in. I don't know how easy it is to tell, but still really high right here in the middle. So as I thought, I did better on this side. That's kind of more or less what I was going for. And then you can see I'll have to clean that back out, but right here is where my little retaining wall will go. This side, I kind of backfilled it, so I'm gonna have to figure out how to dig that back out down below grade. Oh well. So next thing is basically rip it all up again, and we'll try to get it back down so that it's actually flat. It's kind of got a hump to it right now, so I want to get this so that it's flat all the way across. So right here, that's the main spot that I gotta dig up, and then I'll have to dig this back out. Now, I have been thinking, and since this is on kind of a slope, and it's not much of a slope, but I think I'm going to be constantly losing my gravel out to the road if I just put gravel in here. So I'm debating right now just going ahead and having this entire thing poured with concrete. I don't know. That would be quite a bit more expensive, I think. So there's a concrete company though up in Muskogee, and I met the guy when I was at that farm auction a while back where I bought my welder. I happened to meet a concrete guy while I was out there, and I was talking to him a little bit out of Muskogee, and I've been thinking about maybe using them to do the slab for my house. So this would be kind of a good test project for them, I think. I can get them out here. They can pour the slab for me and everything. I'll have all the dirt work done and all the prep work done for them. And then I'll have them come out, form it up, tie the rebar, pour the concrete. So debating on doing that. And if I did that, I would want to get the tin horn put in first, and then I would just let the city folks know that I'm going to, pour a concrete entryway in here and just concrete that tin horn in. That way it never washes out. So I don't know. We're gonna have a think about that. But if that's the case, then everything needs to go down just a little bit further, basically to the depth that I had originally dug for my retaining wall, which is 6 to 8 inches or so below grade, and then pour this as like a 6-inch slab. So I don't know yet if I'm going to do that or not, but yeah. So I'll do some calculations here and figure out kind of roughly how much concrete I need. That way I can tell them, and I'll call them and get a quote from them and figure out about what it would cost to do that. If it's just outrageously expensive, then we'll just do gravel. But if it's reasonable, then we might just pour a whole concrete entryway here. So the one downside of that is in the winter it might be really slick on a slight downhill like that. Might kind of slide out of here into the road. So I don't know, pros and cons, I guess. But it would be kind of cool though at some point to have all of this poured with concrete all the way back to the house. I don't know if I'll do that or not. That's probably too expensive, but yeah. All right, back to backhoeing. Let's get this center kind of cut down and at least get it I don't know, closer. So two things on the backhoe. First one's a bad thing. These swivels have started leaking, right? This can move. This one's leaking the worst, though one on the other side is leaking just a little bit as well, it looks like. On a positive note, in order to store this like it is right now, there's a little catch. That's the hinge pin for it. And so you have to kind of rock it back and it catches. Well, it's never quite made sense to me the way that it was designed. You have to have this kind of unfolded so that it's all the way up in the air, and then just kind of slam it back, and you get lucky every once in a while and it works. And I've been thinking though they had to have intended that to be or repeatable so that you can do it every time. I figured it out. So what you do is you have that extended up in the air like I said, but you rock this all the way back until it kind of bounces, and then you slam the lever in the other direction. Now, see how the cylinder in this position is slanted this way as opposed to the actual boom here? So what happens is, whenever it gets to that point, it kind of rocks back, and then when you slam the lever the other direction, it extends the cylinder, this one and the one on the other side, and so now that's pushing up on it, but that causes it to push it back, and then it latches it. So if you got one of these Case 580Bs and you're struggling to get the backhoe latch kind of in the travel position there, that's how you do it. Slam it all the way back and then slam your lever the other direction, and it'll lock it into place. So that makes sense now. I can get it every time, first try. So alright, we've got this all tore up again, and so what I'm gonna do, I think the best thing to do will be to actually get out here in the road and then push all this stuff back this way, and hopefully I'm kind of at the right grade at this point. So we'll find out. So I'm going to scrape all this up, all this loose stuff right here. We're going to get it all out of my way first, and then if that's where I want it, then we'll move this big pile right here from what I was able to just get out of there, and then we'll do the other side the same way. So anyway, it's looking pretty good. So I've found that there's no point in worrying about all this stuff. It's hard to scoop that up with the hoe, right? Tiny little bucket. I can drive the loader across here though, and scrape all that up, and even if I don't get it all in the bucket, I can at least push it all into one direction so that I get kind of a pile, and then I'll be able to get it with the loader. So I can get a lot more of it at once. It just seems to be more efficient that way. So it's kind of, I'm learning as I go here. I'm not a professional backhoe operator, not yet. By the time I finish all these projects, I might be, but so that's what I've been doing, is just kind of breaking it all up and getting as much of it out of the way as I can, and then I'll just come in here and scrape the rest of it. All right, I think this is where I'm going to leave it for tonight. No, I don't think it. I know it. So we'll get back out here tomorrow. Sun's starting to go down. Obviously, I've got some piles here that I need to clean up. No big deal though. So I like it. So far, pretty happy with it. So I got a little bit of a high spot right there that I need to take care of, and I've got a high spot here in the middle. So I've cleaned up kind of this side and that side. That I should be able to just continue to scrape up with the loader. I think that's mostly just stuff that's on top for me kind of pushing that way. And I dug down a little bit, if you can see. So I think I got my bucket kind of tilted up, and anyway, I'll be able to clean that up with the loader. We'll get all this kind of broke up, and we'll dig that out. We'll get this kind of smooth looking, and then we're gonna have to call and get a quote on getting concrete out here. So one way or the other, if I'm gonna concrete this entire thing or just the retaining walls here, I'm still going to need to get a batch truck out here, so I'm going to have to figure out a ready mix truck, that is, from a batch plant. So I'm going to have to figure out what's going on with that, how much that's going to cost me, and time frames and all that stuff, whether I need to do the forms or if I hire a company out to do this entire thing, because I don't have the tools to finish concrete, so I'll have to hire that company out, like I said. They may want to do the forms themselves, right? So anyway, since I've decided that I'm at least going to do retaining walls here, I'm just going to cement my fence posts into the retaining wall. I think that'll kind of save me some trouble, and it just kind of makes sense, I think. So we'll do that. So I'm going to be at kind of a standstill on building the fence back up. I may go ahead and get the welder and get the pipes cut, like the ones that are going to go in the wall here. I know how tall they need to be, and then the ones over here in the corners that are actually going to have the gates attached to them, it'll have kind of a thing that goes across that I can drive underneath, just to connect them together. Being as they're set in concrete like that, that may not be necessary, but I can put a cool logo up here on top, GRT Ranch logo. So anyway, going pretty good. Slow process. So, and it's, like I said, it's mostly, I think, because I'm not a super experienced operator, so I'm trying to be careful not to over dig and get to where my concrete's going to be set on, spots of uncompacted soil. This stuff that's down here, I mean, you can see the way the bucket slid across it. This clay that's down here, this shale type material that's underneath of it, it's very hard, very compacted. It's a really good base to be putting concrete or rock, for that matter, on. So I want that to stay there. I don't want to have a bunch of loose stuff like this. This, I can compact it just by driving over it a whole bunch, but it's just never going to be the same as this. That's still just virgin soil underneath there. So alright, well, we'll be back tomorrow and show you what we get done then. Look at how much dirt I have had to dig out of this thing. I cannot believe it took this much. I'm trying to show you guys, it's hard to get it on camera, but like that pile's like 8 feet tall and probably 25 feet long. I started way back there because I thought that would be plenty of room, but I'm kind of almost back to my road. Amazing. And I'm not even done yet. Alright, so we're going to rip out some trees real quick. This one right here, that's got to go. This one right here, this is Bradford pear. It's got to go. And we'll scrape up some of this kind of scraggly stuff right here as well. This tree, evergreen of some sort, spruce or something, not sure. I'm gonna try and just break the branches off of this side of it, that way it's out of my way. This one will, like I said, get out of the way, and hopefully that will be enough that cement trucks and whatnot can get through here to kind of, this is this S-curve I keep talking about. It's not really much of an S-curve. This little one here, it's gonna have to go. You can see I've hit this several times. Just driving the backhoe through here, I was getting some fill dirt in here. Let's see if we can rip out some trees real quick. So that's kind of fun to do actually with the backhoe. Trees this size, like this one here, I can just kind of, what I'll do is kind of dig down like on either side of it and kind of just break up the roots. And I'll cut through here and tear roots out that way, and then I'll kind of hook the bucket behind it and just scoop it out. I'll get the whole tree out. So kind of cool. Anyway, we'll get a couple of these. Maybe I'll show you ripping one of these out. Oh, vines almost tripped me. All right, let's do it. Die hard. We got it though.